Alright guys, what's up guys? First time recording a video, back in a minute. Yeah, I just want to get into it. No cuts, no edits, no really rambling. Well, there's gonna be rambling, but not to an extreme extent, I guess. But basically what I want to talk about today is how your vision of success is going to hold you back in the end. And what I mean by this is simply your goals are going to be the thing that's holding you back in the end, based off whatever it is, honestly. If it is your beliefs, if it is your spirit, your ideals, anything of that nature, it's going to hold you back in the future. And I'll explain this. So I think people oftentimes forget that success is not immediate. Success takes time, and success is not even the end goal, but success is a level that people want to get to, but there are actionable steps that need to be taken. Success has to have things to be success. In order to be successful, you need to have failed. You need to have been pushed back, repelled. You need to have been driven down, and you need to get back up. And a lot of people don't realize this. A lot of people will take something at face value, whether it's, working out, trading, making money, talking to girls, making friends, whatever it is, schoolwork. When they fail, they don't get back up. And it's very important to get back up, right? This is why, me personally, I believe in God. I think God will always have my back. I can fall back and God's there. I don't have to worry about that. But success is the end goal, and people, right? People, especially nowadays, they want to get rich, and they want to do a lot of these things that would make their life easy. But what you guys have to look at is that success is not easy. Success was never easy. When you look at success is a story that at the end there is a resolution and there is peace, but there is conflict. There is peace with the person, but that person has had to have gone through many, many, many conflicts. Conflicts, plural, because you don't just get pushed down once. If you decided to climb a mountain and you did not fail, you did not fall, you did not hurt yourself, that is not success. Now, is it fair to call that luck? Probably not, but the point here is that you have not had trials and tribulations. You have merely just scaled, right? To be successful, you need to fall back. You need to climb the stairs of life. And I find this very prevalent within myself with trading. I have scaled, from going to making $4,000 over the course of months to $4,000 in a day. But I post a lot, that, oh, I've made this today, I've made this today, I've made this in the course of a day, in 2 days, 3 days. And it's a lot. And a lot of people will look at this and they'll go, wow, that is amazing. But what people don't see is that I have gone through many times where I've been pushed back. I've blown accounts. I have gotten to the point where I've almost cried myself to sleep because, after losing $3,000, you're like, wow, is this even going to work out? You don't know. But when you have something backing you up, Christ, you can build yourself up. You can keep going. But some people will look at me. Maybe it's my friends, maybe it's my family, and they'll go, you're successful. And to someone, that could be true, right? I've gone through the trials and tribulations, but here's where people mess up. People want the same thing that you have. If you want a physique, you look at someone and you go, I want that physique. But you won't be successful with that physique. You won't be successful if you have that physique. The only way that you will get successful is if you put in the time, you fall back, and you keep pushing. Each person has their own story. So when people say, oh, I want to get into this, I want to get into that, but they haven't even done something as simple as journaling, why would they make it? The first step to anything, or a lot of things in my opinion, if you have goals, is to write it down, right? Write it down. Because as soon as you write it down, you have a step that has been making, right? A step that has been made. You have a step. So if here's the step and here's the success, you need to place down a step, climb back up, but one of your steps might break. You might fall back down. You have to go back, climb back on the step, go back up over and over and over until you create support. You need to create something that can hold you up. But at the end, right here, this is where God is. God will always be here. So whether you're looking to get into something that is going to change your life, you need to start with actionable steps. Journaling, recording in your notes. You need to make reminders. You need to do these things that are going to benefit you in the future. Because if you don't do those things will never happen. For me, with trading, if I didn't watch those videos, where would I be? If I didn't study, where would I be? If I didn't open up the charts, where would I be? With this physique, if I didn't just pick up the weights, right? If I didn't eat more, if I didn't do these things, where would I be? But there have been times where I haven't felt like working out. There's been times where I haven't felt like eating, right? And I'm pretty skinny, guys. I'm pretty skinny, but I still have physique, and that's because I still put in that work, right? Don't let anyone bring you down, because you are your own maker of life. And guys, you only have one life. You only have one. You only have one. Don't let your success stop you from being successful. If you want to reach $100 million, but you think that's not reasonable, if you don't think that's not realistic, you've already failed. You need to sit back and you need to go, all right, $100 million. What would my life look like? Are you still going to keep the same habits? Are you still going to be lustful? Are you still going to lie? Are you still not going to do the things that you say that you're going to do? See, it depends on what you are willing to do. Because as soon as you're not willing to do that, as soon as you don't make that first move, you've lost the game, right? And so you need to envision yourself, tunnel vision. What am I going to look like when I'm at that place? What steps do I need to take to get to that place? Is it cutting out junk food? Is it cutting out toxic friends? Is it cutting out bad money habits, right? Is it cutting out video games? You need to think about this stuff. What stuff do you need to remove? What stuff do you need to add to make your life come true? But that success, right, may seem realistic. That's why you don't want your success to be your downfall. Because when you're trying to make 100 mil, but you're only at $10,000, that's a long way from 100 mil. So what else do you need to learn? Are you gonna give up and quit? Because that is a large distance, right? If 10K is right here, 100 million is all the way over here, you can't even see the finish line. So what are you gonna do about it? To say, okay, what can I do to get to that finish line? Right? Nothing is unrealistic. Nothing. I have my own goals. Some people want to hit $1 million by the time that they're 25. If you start at 23, you can definitely get there. If you start at 24, you can definitely get there. But what work are you going to put in? If you get home from work and you're tired, are you just going to go to bed? Or are you going to stay up, do that work, so that way you can have a better future?